At that moment, Olivia had already arrived at the hospital to get laser surgery for her nearsightedness. The recent disaster still haunted her. She was determined to ditch her glasses and finally see the world clearly. The doctor handed her a teddy bear to help her relax, then strapped her head in place and clamped her eyelids open. All the prep made her incredibly nervous. She squeezed the teddy bear so hard that its eye popped off and fell to the ground. Right then, the doctor noticed some missing data and stepped out to grab the paperwork. Now pressure in the water dispenser built up. Bubbles rose. The nearby paper cup got knocked off and spilled water onto the wires. This shorted the cooling system. The laser machine's readings began to spike. That sharp buzzing sound made Olivia uneasy. She tried to reach for the control panel, but accidentally knocked it down, causing it to hit the power switch. Without cooling, the laser turned on automatically and instantly burned her eye. Olivia struggled to break free. She pulled at the clamps, ripping them off in panic. Just then, the next wave of laser beams fired again, slashing across her hand as she tried to block them. Sam and Molly finally arrived at the hospital. Olivia had just broken free from the head clamp. Blinded, she heard their voices and turned toward them, but in the very next second, she stepped on the teddy bear's loose eye, lost her balance, smashed through the glass, and fell straight out the window. After getting home, Sam carefully studied the deaths of his co-workers. To his shock, they had died in the exact same order as in his dream, and next on the list was Nathan. At that moment, Nathan was arguing with a worker. The next second, they noticed a tower crane moving toward them. Sparks were flying from the nearby power lines. Soon, the hook stopped right above their heads. Sensing danger, Nathan told the worker to get out of there, but the man thought Nathan wanted to fight, so he started pushing back. Just then, the giant hook suddenly broke loose and dropped. Nathan shoved the worker out of the way as hard as he could. The worker fell straight down and got impaled through the chin by the hook, dying on the spot. Meanwhile, Peter found Dennis and told him everything about the death list and how to escape it. But Dennis thought Peter was insane. Peter didn't argue, he just left. When Peter heard what happened and rushed back to the workshop, he saw Nathan standing there completely unharmed.
Did you kill him? What? No, I just...
Even though it seemed like a coincidence, Nathan had to admit he accidentally caused the worker's death. Peter was thrilled to hear that, because it proved what the coroner Bloodworth said was true. If someone else dies in your place, you get skipped on death's list.
Then who would be next?
Right then, Dennis arrived and asked what was going on. But the very next second, a tilted wrench was flung from the gear mechanism, spinning through the air and smashing straight into Dennis's head. There was no need to ask who was next anymore. Dennis's death caused the entire company to shut down. Sam had no choice but to take a job in a restaurant kitchen. He believed that if death really wanted him, he wouldn't be safe no matter where he was. All he could do now was stay alert and watch the small details around him. Just as he thought that, a metal skewer from the roasting rack nearly stabbed him. After that scare, he worked extra carefully the whole day. Luckily, nothing happened, not even by closing time. That night, after the restaurant shut down, Sam and Molly celebrated surviving another day. But they didn't know that Agent Block had been secretly watching Sam, convinced that he was hiding something. Suddenly, there was a knock at the restaurant door. They weren't scared, because the one outside wasn't Death, it was Peter. Judging by his tired, sunken face, Peter had clearly been under serious mental stress. For days, he had been wondering, could he actually kill someone else, so a stranger could die in his place? He had even tried walking toward a woman standing by the street, ready to push her in front of a truck. But when the truck passed, he didn't move, because deep down, he wasn't a cold-blooded killer. He was just a man being driven mad by death. But now he had someone in mind. If all the survivors were doomed, why should Molly get to live?
You don't.
As soon as he pulled the trigger, Sam flipped the table over. Then he grabbed Molly and ran straight into the kitchen. Agent Block heard the gunshot from outside and immediately called for backup. Meanwhile, Sam made a decision. He would distract Peter and told Molly to hide and find a chance to escape. After all, he was already on Death's list. Even if Peter killed him, it wouldn't change anything. Just as Sam expected, Peter didn't shoot him directly. Instead, he fired at a nearby gas pipe. Then he rushed forward and knocked Sam out. The force sent a kitchen knife spinning through the air, but it barely missed Sam and stabbed into the floor beside him. Molly was trembling in the corner, trying not to make a sound. Peter turned on all the kitchen burners, then yelled that if she didn't come out, he'd help Death finish off Sam right now. Terrified, Molly picked up a kitchen knife, determined to fight back. She kept her eyes locked on Peter as he stepped closer. But the figure who appeared next wasn't Peter, it was Agent Block. Molly shouted for help, but a second later, Peter fired from behind and shot Agent Block down. Peter had finally succeeded. He had taken someone else's life and believed he'd skipped his turn on Death's list, but he wasn't done yet. Since Molly saw everything, he couldn't let her live. She ran as fast as she could. Peter chased her. But just then, Sam woke up and tackled him to the ground. They wrestled fiercely in the kitchen. Sam grabbed a frying pan and smacked the gun right out of Peter's hand, unaware that the gun's metal was slowly turning red from the flame. Soon, Peter overpowered Sam and slammed him to the floor. Molly rushed to help, but Peter threw her across the room. He picked up a kitchen knife, ready to end Molly's life for good. But in the very next second, a roasting skewer came down from above and pierced right through Peter's body. Sam had saved Molly just in time. Just as they were celebrating survival, the overheated gun suddenly fired, but only shattered a glass nearby. This proved that by killing Peter, Sam had successfully escaped death's list. 2 weeks later, Sam and Molly boarded a plane for vacation. They noticed a group of students being kicked off, which Sam found odd, but ignored. What he didn't realize was they were on the doomed Flight 180. Moments later, Sam cut his finger again. Then he heard someone say, one of the students had a terrifying vision of the plane crashing. Right after, the wing outside burst into flames. An explosion ripped through the cabin. A hole opened beside them. Molly was sucked out and torn in half by the plane's tail. Sam was caught in the blast and burned alive. The plane broke apart in the sky. Its landing gear, still on fire, plummeted toward the city below. At that moment, Nathan was at a memorial service for the dead worker. He had just learned the man had a brain tumor and would have died anyway. As he wondered if that still counted as cheating death, the fiery landing gear crashed through the roof and killed him instantly.